Alright guys, so I couldn't finish the entire install the other day because it got really dark and it's nothing but rain outside. If I show you real quick, that's what the weather's been like for the last, I don't know, 6 months. It's awful. This is Atlanta and it feels like, I don't know, you always heard about Seattle and other places always raining. Anyways, let's move on to the antenna install. So let me show you what I've done real quick. And here you can see, hopefully you can, I've got it mounted here, the Fire Stick. So luckily for me, I've got this extended Smittybilt tire carrier, and that looks like a good place to mount the antenna already. So I went ahead and used this spot to put the antenna on. Now for the coax wire, I was trying to go through this little water seal. I'm not sure what that is, but there's a hole. It wasn't big enough because the head of the wire is just way too big. And it did fit through the bigger one, but I'll show you on the other side. It wouldn't go through. And then there's one down here which is just too small. So if I come around the side, let me show you what I did here. So the panel pops off really easily. You can do it by hand or use some panel poppers. And here's the back of the holes. As you can see, it just wouldn't fit in there. So what I did is I just went through the little vent right here. So there's these little vents. I'll try to organize them to where they I can reach through here. Was able to feed it through there, and then hopefully I can scoop that down to where it can fit. That's the best place that I could find right now. I may see if there's a different type of wire that I can order that would fit through this hole. The problem with the bigger hole, as you can see, it's a good size hole, but they don't align. It's like back here somewhere. So when I try to feed the coax cable, I can't get it to go on either side, and the one down here is just too small. So that's what I did for now. I'm gonna run this through the strap here and then through the panel, so that way you can't see any of it through the back seat. So let me do that real quick. All right guys, small change of plans actually. As you know, I was working on the CB install, CB bar. You saw that in the part 1 video. Then I posted a second video where I drove to go pick up a hardtop, which you can see is already on the vehicle here. And so now this poses a new interesting scenario, because what I was thinking about is I actually bought some screws so I could move this up here so I could have more room with the CB install itself. But now, since we have a hardtop, I can't do that anymore, and I figure out why. If you look at the actual hardtop itself, the Freedom panels, let me come over here real quick, and I apologize that the garage is a mess, but you can see there's like pieces of it that come down in the middle. That's the middle right there. If you can look at the bottom part, that's the middle. So that hump sits right above the CB bar, and now I understand why the CB bar itself does not have the room to put, because I was asking it myself with the soft top. I'm like, you know, there's plenty of room to put this stuff upstairs, or not upstairs, but above. So why not do that? But yeah, with the hardtop, you definitely don't have the room to do that. So I'm gonna continue on with the installation as planned. What I might do is, not right now, but I may drill holes. There is room if you do it here or on the other side, because that part of the panel is raised a little bit higher above. So you would have room, but I would have to drill holes here or on the other side. So I think I might still do that, but for now I'll finish the install with the way that the CB bar was designed to do it. And so let me continue with that. All right, so I've secured everything back in place with the hardware that they give you. If you remember before, in the earlier video, I actually had used the surround plastic from the soft top itself. But since we no longer have the soft top, then I'm just using the hardware that they provide you. So I put everything back in place and we should be good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the CB radio itself, put everything back where it was. All right, so as you can see, we've got the CB back on there. It's a nice clean install. So now I gotta take the windshield off so I can run the wires to the back and get this thing wired up and powered up. So, and then we'll work on the PA system in a third video probably, just because I don't want to I keep making these videos too long. Hopefully you can see here, you get a good shot. All right, so most of you already know how to take the screws off, and it's pretty straightforward. And you've got 4 of them. They go right here by the sun visor. You've got one in the corner here, and then of course there'll be 2 more on this side. So Just remove those 4 and we'll be able to flip the windshield down so that we can run some of that wiring through there. All right, I think we got all the screws off. It's 4 of them, which I've got right here. So now, let me come around the side here. See if I can gently put the screen down. All right, so I got the 4 screws that hold the windshield together off. And you can see how this just separates. If you want to fold it down all the way, it'll rest on here. You do have to remove the wipers. I don't think I need to do that because I just need a little bit of space and I'll hang on to it so that I can just go in between here and run it up on the side. Kind of like where the washers and some of the other things, as you can see behind there, are. So we'll just do it carefully through there. I have enough space to run the wires, and that should be all I need because I just need to go right here down and where it's gonna plug in. So let me run the wires through there. Show you real quick what I've done here. So for now, I'm just gonna temporarily run this wire here. I do wanna get some wire loom and make a nicer harness, but I have to run a bunch of other wires anyways. So this is gonna have to do for now, and this is gonna run right down here. It's going to go through that opening right there. Hopefully you can see it, which comes out right here. There's a nice and convenient opening. And I'm just gonna use the battery. It does have a fuse right now, so it should be okay. Gonna ground it out in here, put the positive in there, and just keep it simple for now. I do have a lot of projects. That's why I'm just making it pretty quick right now because I have to do the DRLs, as you may know. Did a little bit of a headlight upgrade, which I think I showed you in another video, but I was able to find the OEM Mopar headlights, and I also have the DRLs, which are in a box in here somewhere. So I'm gonna install those, and I have to run the wiring. These fenders have to come up for me to run the wiring back into the car to connect those. And I also wanna run the halo wire. So I've got a lot of wiring to do. On top of that, I wanna run the hitch wiring as well. I've got the hitch installed, but I still don't have wiring, and that's for the wave runner. So we'll be able to put the wave runner on there, and I need the brake lights, of course. I also have, now that I've got the hardtop, that's a bigger project. I don't know if I'm gonna take on that one just yet, but if you want the wiper to work in the rear, if you want the defroster to work, you do have to go through that. From what I've read, a lot of people have said that, you know, they've never used a rear wiper. The defrost would be nice. The rear wiper I can totally see. I've had it in other cars, never used it. So I don't know that I'm gonna go through the trouble of doing that, but we'll see. So I'll finish wiring this up, run the wires through here. Then I'm gonna pull the antenna for the CB, probably through the roll cage. Seems to be the easier, instead of doing, a lot of people would do it through the plastics and the side channel that's over here. But you have to remove so many things. I think I'm just gonna go through the plastics on the roll cage itself, then come up here and just connect it to the back, and I should be good to go. So let me go ahead and get working on that real quick. All right, so I ran the wire through the windshield. It comes out right here, so I'm just gonna go right under this. And like I said, I'm gonna get some plastic wire loom so that I can protect this wire a little bit better. I put some loop connectors here at the end, and I'm just gonna connect it to the battery, test it out, and it should work pretty straightforward. So I'll bolt it in. As you can see, there's usually some spare connectors right here where you can easily plug some of this stuff in. So let me do that. Okay, we've got the wire connected. Just went ahead and screwed it in. Like I said, ran it through this little channel right here. And again, this is temporary because I am going to run multiple wires back there, including the hitch wiring harness. I'm not gonna put a lot of time into it. I just wanna test it, make sure it works. We've got this locked down and tight. So now I just gotta come here and see if she turns on. Boom, there it is. So just gotta go through the settings, do some things in there, and change the color. I do believe this has the color. Yeah, there we go. Where it matches nighttime, daytime. Oh, cool. You can see the different color options. I think I'll do red probably. Can adjust the brightness. Nighttime, you can change what the color is as well. Brightness. I think that's the highest. We'll leave it on red so it matches the rest of the interior in the daytime. Now I just gotta run the antenna. We're good to go, and I've already got my wireless installer, so let me see if that syncs up over here. probably pair them, so I'll walk through those settings here in a second. But this is the wireless mic that I showed you guys earlier, which is really cool because you don't have to have a wire dangling from here where it might obstruct your view. And it's just a nicer, cleaner install. You can either hang it on the side here, or I went ahead and put it right down here. I think that's nice and easy to reach. So let's run the antenna wire. That's gonna go through here, through the plastic. I may have to take the hard top off, so I gotta see how that goes. So either way, I can either run it through the channel in here. I just don't want to fool with pulling all these panels apart. Or we can run it through in between the plastics in here too. You've got a couple options there, so it's really just up to you on that. All right, everybody, I've been having some issues with this camera and the battery itself, so I hope this works. Let me show you what I've done here. So I finished the CB install, and if I climb up here, I just want to show you how I ran the wires. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of space for me to hide this stuff. I thought I was gonna have a little bit more room when I was gonna be able to move the radio here and make it a cleaner install, but now with the hard top, as you can see, I don't have the same space as the soft top. With the soft top, you had about 5 inches of space because of the way it curves down like that. With the hard top, even though there is some space underneath, you've got channels and rails that run through here. So definitely don't have room to move this up here because I had already found the screws and everything else. So I ran the CB antenna through the roll bar. It was pretty easy. Again, not as clean as I would like, you know, but just wanted to do this pretty quickly. And like I said, I've got to run a bunch of other wires when I do the wiring harness for the rear, when I do the DRL lights. It's so many projects. So I figure I'll run it all together when it's all said and done, but pretty clean. It goes down the windshield here into the engine bay. And let's hop in so you can check it out. So it's all plugged in. And I've got it on the green color right now, but it does have the option to change to different colors. You can do orange, red, blue, so a multitude of options in there. This piece, I thought I wasn't gonna need this. I thought the radio actually had the option to do Bluetooth itself to sync with the wireless mic, but it does not, unfortunately. You do have to plug this in, unless I'm not doing this correctly. But it's not a big deal. If you're sitting here as the passenger, you're not gonna see much of it. Like I said, these zip ties are not the prettiest thing, but for now this will do. We'll figure out a different option here. If they ever make a console, it might be a little bit cleaner to hide everything in there. But it'll work. I just wanna have one out there when I'm out at the trails itself. But as you can see, pretty straightforward. This is really cool because at least I don't have this wire dangling down here. And this just mounts right here, which is kind of nice and clean. So it syncs right away too. It's really fast. And right now I'm in the garage, so I don't have great reception. But there's the weather channel. So at least it picks up the weather channel pretty good, even inside the garage. So we're good there. I'm gonna put the Freedom panels back up. And then you're not gonna be able to see a whole lot because they got dark on me as always. But the antenna wire runs through there. I'll clean that up. Like I said, I'm gonna take those panels off when I do the wiring for the hitch itself. So I'll be able to hide that a little bit better. Actually go through where the swing out arm comes out. And here's the antenna itself. I was able to use this piece right here. Also, let me show you something that has been on the forums too, which is this right here. If you've got a larger size wheel, the factory bump stops do not work after you've done the carrier extension and everything else. So what I did, and it wasn't my idea by any means, I saw it on the forums. I just went and got a bar stool, like rubber foot, something like that. They sell the kit. They actually sell 4 of them in a kit, and they fit perfectly in there. I had to pull the tire back some to get them to fit in there. But man, it was like it was made for that. And now the tire is a lot more secure. It's not hanging off anymore, but instead it's resting on the bracket, relieving some of the stress from here. I still want to get a tailgate support like bracket in there, but there's the Fire Stick antenna. Pretty clean. You know, I'm pretty happy with the results. It is tilted a little bit, so I got to figure out how I can get it to be a little bit more straight. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching once again. Leave a comment, like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thanks.